Hi, thanks for joining me. I'm Teresa Crawley at Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. Today I'm going to show you a brand new 2026 Newmar Superstar. This is the 4159 floor plan, bath and a half. This is all new this year, meaning it got a life cycle change. That's what they call it when they do a complete makeover of the unit. So the cabinets are new, all the fascia is new, valances are new, etc. Really nice, modern, clean look. Another important thing to point out is that they got rid of the carpet and now we have this nice woven material on the slide out. It's going to be a lot more sleek and it's actually quite easy to keep clean. So I'll let you take a quick look around. This is built on the M2-112 Freightliner chassis. We've got a Cummins 450 horsepower engine with 1150 foot-pounds of torque. We've got 20,000 pounds of towing capacity, and only Newmar offers the air ride cab. So it gives a lot nicer, less jerky experience when you're riding up in that front cab. We also have pneumatic lumbar seats in the front that do swivel around, and Detroit Assurance safety package, which is going to include intelligent high beams, active brake assist, and object and pedestrian detection. So some of those really great safety upgrades that you need in a coach of this size. This one comes in at 41 feet 10 inches, excuse me. But Newmar really tries to make it not just an industrial vehicle that you can tow your toys and things like that. It really does make a home environment for when you are on the road. So you can play hard outside and really have a nice relaxing home environment when you get back in your coach. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. The living area here, you can see we've optioned in some theater seats here. These are powered, and I'll just show you real quick how that works. They've just got a really nice footrest here, and my back is tilting back as we speak. This goes back pretty far, almost far enough that you could sleep here. So that's going to be your relaxing position there. And then we of course have your cup holders here. Newmar decided to put in a Corian piece here so that you can set wine glasses or other things there that need a little bit more of a stable tabletop rather than a cushion there. Under here we have quite a bit of storage. It actually goes all the way back either way, so you can put quite a bit down there, blankets, pillows, etc. And then you'll see throughout the coach we've got these really nice multiplex systems. This particular one only has a few things, so lights, floor heat, you can check your tank levels, you can start your generator, thermostat, etc. We can also put our TV up and down. And the reason I point out what's on this particular one is because we'll look at different ones throughout the coach and they'll have different functions according to where they're at and what you're going to need to have there. As you can see right now, I just put the TV up. Newmar does a great televator lift so that when it's time to not watch TV, you can still have a great view out of that window. It's not just completely blocked all the time. And all the TVs in this coach are going to be this flat screen Samsung TV, and we've got sound bars attached to each of them. So there's a TV here in the living room, one in the bedroom, and one outside that we'll see as we get through the coach, but really nice Bose sound bar is attached here. We've got an audio-visual cabinet here. So the reason I say that, this is where all your hookups are going to be for your satellite dish and things like that. This does already have a satellite dish and a Wi-Fi router included, but this glass window is what's the tell so that you can use your remote control and not have to have this open. Your remote control can be read through that tinted glass. So still looks good, but also is functional. Little bit of storage above either side here, and these are going to be mirrored. It's a little bit shorter than you would think because there's insulation and things like that on this slide out that take up a little bit of that space. And then of course we have your booth dinette here. Now this is not going to become a bed. This is going to have a leaf that is included and some fold-up chairs. Those are kept under the bed in the back, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But this is Corian, just as every solid surface in this coach is. And then we do have a little bit of storage under either side of these booth seats. So really nice residential look as you come into the entryway here. We've got this really pretty banister, something to hold on to when you're coming up and down the stairs. But another nice thing that Newmar does that I don't know of anyone else that does is we've got a step right here that's on a push button. So really living in the coach, you're not going to be going in and out a lot. You can cover this step so that you don't fall down the stairs accidentally, or your dog doesn't get confused and fall down the stairs. It gives you a little bit more living area. So that's a really nice thing that they've included there. Right above the entry door here, we've got some really important functions. Your house battery disconnect, your entry lock and unlock. This is your bay door lock and unlock. Step cover is what we were just looking at. Block heater is for your engine to preheat there. Patio light. We've got the awning package here that is a two different awnings that are included on the patio side. Oops, sorry. I meant to put it out. So hopefully these will still be out when we go out, but it's that simple to just push those buttons and then your awnings will come out. Newmar has switched to a Victron brand inverter, and that's a 3,000 watt inverter included there. And then here we have security lights for the outside of the coach, as well as an on-off switch for that exterior step. We've got your power monitor panel here, but there is another location I'll show you that's a little bit easier to access than this one, but that's what that is there. Satellite system on and off. This is a traveler wind guard, so that's going to be, if you want to disable that from moving around, that's what you can do there. Your hydraulic leveling jacks are right here. Very easy to use. Power, auto level, and then auto retract when you're done. Very, very simple, and it will scream at you if you accidentally forget to put those back up. Here we have our slide out buttons for the front of the coach, and we'll get to that a little bit later when I pull everything in so you can see what that looks like. And right now I'm going to drop this step cover again so that I can get out in a few moments. Nice to see all those in such a great centralized location. All right, moving over into the kitchen area. We again have our solid surface countertop. They've added a really nice flip-up extension here so you have a little bit more prep space available. And then we have small storage under here, and hidden under here there is a 110 outlet down there. So just so you know, they are scattered throughout, but Newmar does a really good job at hiding them. So you think, oh no, where am I going to plug in my stuff? Well, it's just hiding. So there's one right there. A little bit of under sink storage here. We've got a place to put sponges and things right here. And then we've got a really nice size stainless steel sink here. And I hear customers time and time again say how they don't want a divider in their sink. Well, this one doesn't have it. So you've got a really nice amount of space here, a little sprayer attachment there. And under the sink, again, we've got two of those 110 outlets so you can plug in your toaster and your coffee maker and whatever it is that you need to bring along. Up here, more storage. And this is a great place to see that most every cabinet in this coach is going to have this felt carpeting throughout. That's going to help with noise, vibration, help for things to not shift around when you're going around corners. And there's one more there. Another thing to point out is that throughout the coach, we have chosen to do a two-tone cabinetry, and that's a new thing for Newmar, that we can have two different colors of your choice. So right here we've got the white, and then we've got a much darker on the bottom there. Again, a very contemporary look. A lot of people are really, really enjoying this. As always, we've got these full extension soft close drawers. Newmar does such a great job building these, and boy does this matter in 1, 2, 3, 10 years down the road, in the squeaks and rattles that you hear going down the road in your coach. When they build it right from the get-go, you're not going to have all of those annoying noises years down the road. So here, obviously, convection microwave oven. They have started to include an air frying function in there, and that's why it looks a little bit different in there now. One less appliance you have to bring along. Then here, as we've had for several years, and I just think it's the best thing ever, we've got your induction cooktop. Newmar's the only one that I know of that makes it so you can take it outside and cook outside. That's going to come in real handy when you're wanting to cook something that's stinky like fish. On the opposite side of our covers here, we have cutting boards already included, so that's one less thing you have to bring along. And then down here, we've got one more big drawer. And this is where the manufacturer gives us a bunch of your remotes, touch-up paint, things like that. Don't worry about all that. We're going to teach you how to use it, but it's a good amount of space once you get all of this stuff where it needs to go. And then down here, we've optioned in a dishwasher. So this is what the inside of these dishwashers look like. They're a really great space for if you have some pasta pots or some bigger pots and pans. Also great when you're going down the road to just keep your dirty dishes in there. It's going to help them to not rattle around rather than leaving them in the sink or something like that. They also use a very low amount of water. So these are actually more environmentally friendly or economic than hand washing your dishes. So I get asked that a lot, and yeah, I would definitely recommend getting a dishwasher. Over here, they've included a really nice pantry. So these are going to be adjustable pull-out shelves. You can move them to different heights, and they do lock into place when you're done using those. All right, now we're at your half bathroom. Why do I need a half bathroom? Well, if I want to get ready in a separate place than my husband, this is a great thing to do. If I have guests, this is another great reason. Or if I have my slides in and I'd have to climb over to the bed to get to the back bathroom, this is going to come in quite handy. I'll open up all of these cabinets so you can get a good peek here. Obviously, this is going to be mostly an electrical place for breakers and fuses, but you still can put a little bit of storage in there. And then we've got more here. So if you can get a good look in there. And then another thing I want to point out while we're in here is that we have 3 of these exhaust fans throughout the coach. One is here, one is above your cooking area, and one is going to be in that back bathroom. But they work really well to get steam, heat, smoke out of the coach. If you're cooking and, you know, happen to burn something, that's going to be very helpful to you. But also when you just step in after you haven't had the air conditioner on, that's going to make a huge difference in your life. So 3 of those included. And boy, this door is nice with this full-length mirror here, just so you can really make sure you're looking okay before you go to the racetrack or whatever it is you're doing. All right, this hall area here, a couple of important things. One is the controller for your fantastic vent that we were just talking about. That's right over here. And in this area, they cover it to make it pretty, to go with the aesthetic. In the bathrooms, they don't worry about that so much. But also in this area, we have your main multiplex screen. And this is going to be so helpful to you, just a centralized location. I can see how is my house battery, my chassis, what are my tanks looking at like, do I need to turn my tank heater on? Things like that are going to be really helpful. Autofill is here, and then we have our auto gen start, so you can set that according to a time or according to if you need to turn on your air conditioning unit, something like that. We also have 3 zones of floor heat in here, so front, mid, and back of the coach. That does cover every part of the coach, meaning under the booth where you wouldn't think there would be floor heat. It's even there, it's even in the back bathroom, and all of those spaces. And boy, does that make a big difference first thing in the morning. Of course, your HVAC control. We do have 2 air conditioning units on here. Both of those have heat pumps. And then we also have, for our heater, we have our tankless water heater, which is the Oasis system. It's also going to provide your heat. So 3 ways to get heat in here: heat pump, furnace, and your floor heat. So lots of good options there. And that is, again, 2 zones, living room and bedroom. You can Bluetooth your phone to this so you can control the things going on in the coach. Start your generator, for example, from your iPad or your phone. And you also have all of your lighting controls right here, very easily accessible for the whole coach. All right, the other thing that's right here in this hallway area is your central vacuum. So this is where you would put in your hoses if you wanted to do a more traditional vacuum. Those components are included in the basement of the coach. We'll get to that in a bit. And then we also have a sweeping plate. So if you had a broom, you wanted to sweep to there, and then you could just suck it all away with just a tap of your foot. So easy, so convenient. And then here we have your Whirlpool. This is a residential refrigerator. We've got water in the door here, and we have a filter in there as well as a whole house water filter. So your water is going to be nice and clean no matter where you're parked. Actually, this is a good place to get a peek at this. This is the lock that's integrated for the refrigerator freezer. That will lock both parts with just a slide over. This is a really important to point out because you don't really see it. It's not stuck to the outside of the refrigerator doors as I see in a lot of other brands. It's pretty sleek and hidden, but it also works really well. A lot of them you'll see like Velcro attaching these, or some like a baby proof thing stuck right to the front of the thing. It's just not very aesthetically pleasing. This is sleek and it works, so I'm a big fan. Down here we have your ice maker, and then we have another level here for your refrigerator freezer. All right, and then when you're done, you just lock it into place, and then your pickles don't fly out when you go around the corner. All right, we're gonna move into the master suite, and this is gonna be your divider door. So when it's time to go to bed, you've got another really beautiful door shutting this area off. It locks right into place when it's done, and then it will also lock right into place when I put it back into that position. Again, other brands, they're putting Velcro or snaps down at the bottom of these. It's not only a hassle to get down there and get it snapped or Velcroed, it just looks ugly. So this is really, really nice that it's already integrated in here. All right, come on back. We have a king size bed here. Either side of the bed is going to have 110s as well as USB plugs, a little storage place for water bottles and things like that down there. And then above the bed, we've got quite a bit of storage as well. So again, we've got that really nice felt carpeting here. And there is a 110 outlet back there. I know it's hard to see because it's kind of dark on this back wall. But this goes all the way through here. And then we have a little portal here. If you had a sleep apnea machine or anything else that you needed cording to go through, that's what this little portal is for. And there are two plugs there, so both of you can have a sleep apnea machine or whatever kind of machine that you need plugged in at night. Very, very handy that they've included that. Then under the bed, we have another one of our multiplex screens. Excuse me that I have to get up here, but we have all of our ceiling light controls here. So when it's time for bed, I can say all lights off. I can also check my tanks. I can turn on my floor heat from here, so when it's morning time, I don't have to step on that cold, cold tile. I also have an auto gen start right there at the touch of a button, and my exterior security lights are under here as well. So really nice to have that so easily accessible. Now under the bed, I promised we had extra chairs. And there they are, as well as two leaves that match that front table really nicely. Cut from the same piece of Corian. And under here, real quick, I'll just show you. This is an air bed system. That means that both sides can have different firmness if you choose to. And then directly across, we've got your hanging shirt closet. Both sides are going to have the same thing, but nice that it's so easy to see in there. And then we've got drawers. This one is another one of those audio-visual cabinets. That's why it has the dark glass. So you can point your remote control right there and it can read right through it. And then 2 more drawers in the middle that are a little bit narrower, but very deep. We have an emergency exit window here, which hopefully you'll never need to use. We also have an emergency exit door in the back bathroom, so you're not necessarily going to need to use that even if there were an emergency. Then I want to just show you that we have these MCD roller shades. These are on every window. We have the day shade and the night shade, and then they just roll away. These are great because when you're going down the road, they don't bang and make a lot of noise. They're up there. I'm kind of banging it right now just so you can hear. It's really nothing. And we've got another Samsung TV right here. Another shirt closet on this side. Same as on the other side, but. And then 2 more really deep drawers. All right, this one comes out a little farther because of this. All right, moving into the back bathroom here. We've got another one of those really nice dividing doors here that locks into place. So that's what that looks like. Nice privacy back here. And then we have another porcelain toilet. Both of these toilets in here have macerating systems on them. And then this is your emergency exit door. Let's see if I need to slide that. Oops. Let's see. Did I lock it? Did I unlock it? Well, we'll do this another time. But this whole door opens up if you need to get rid of trash, laundry, whatever it is. You can throw that out there. You can also load right here as well. That's another one of those fantastic fans right there. And directly across we have your washer and dryer right here. And a little place to put your laundry sheets or whatever it is you need down there. Right here, another hanging shirt closet. There is a safe back here that you can program your own code into, as well as there's keys there. And then there's a little secret compartment here. You could use this as separate storage, or you can hang your longer items on this rod here and they can just go down into that spot right there. All right, and then we've got 4 of these really nice sized drawers. So lots of storage. They're just giving you as much as they possibly can fit in this little guy. So 2 more of those exact ones going down. And then we've got some space down here as well. And I'll pull all those out and get out of the way. So that's what that looks like when it's all said and done. Then up here, a kind of sleek hidden medicine cabinet, but it is really good size, and it also has that felt carpeting on every one of these levels, so you know your stuff's not going to be banging around back here. All right, in our shower, Newmar has completely gotten rid of rounded corner showers. The rectangular shaped shower is so much better for space, for the feeling of claustrophobia and just being able to get around. But as always, we've got a really nice skylight up there. We have optioned in this fold down shower seat. So if you need to shave your legs or sit down for any reason, that's just right there for you, very handy. We also have the Aqua Miser system in here. So what that does is recirculate the water in the tank until it's at your desired heat level. Then that blue light will illuminate for you and you'll know that it's time to let the water out. Then it will start coming out once you tell it to. So you're not wasting all the water waiting for it to get heated up. I love that function. So I think we're ready to close slides now, and we can get a great look at the outside. First slide that's going to come in is the bed right here. All right, so Newmar is still using the cog wheel system that they invented. It's very reliable and very stout. They were the first to put a slide out in a motorhome, and it was their invention. And if you saw the components, which I have one on my desk, I could show you. It looks exactly like what a cogwheel train part looks like. It's very heavy and very sturdy. So love that they still do that. I'm gonna put these in the kitchen, or excuse me, in the front area and then we can take a good look at the cab. So our booth dinette is coming in right now. You always want to keep an eye on your slides and everything surrounding them inside and out, just to make sure you're not doing any damage. And as I'm doing that, I'm thinking it's probably wise to put this away. So let's see how we get this one up here. And that way I won't scrape the back of this booth. All right. You might take a peek at this really beautiful porcelain tile floor. This was optioned in. It's a King Air special floor. Really easy to keep clean. Really nice residential wood look. Really a beautiful coach all in all. Very aesthetically pleasing. And that's how much room you have when this coach is put together. This is a little bit less room than some other options of furniture would be. So for example, if you had put a sofa here instead of the theater seats, you would have a little bit more walking room here. Just something to keep in mind if that's very important to you, that you can change furniture in these and option out something that works better for you, but you still can get through here. I can get to that front cab area. I just have to do it a little bit more sideways. Of course, this area is very wide open, and then I can actually still get into my refrigerator with a little bit of shimmying. So just so you know, that's the space that you have. Bathroom is completely accessible because the door is on an angle there. So, all right, let's take a quick look at the front cab and the cabinets overhead. So Newmar does not offer on the Superstar a bed over the driver. It's not even a possibility because we have this floating cab area, which means there's this big gasket that's hidden by this piece right here that's going to make the cab actually ride on its own air system. So any other brand of Super C, the front cab is welded to the chassis rail. That means the ride is going to be more like this, whereas on the Newmar it's like this. So you're going over bumps and the cab is floating along on its own and the back is floating also independently. So it's a really great system, especially if you have a bad back. This is going to feel great for you. But over here they did include cabinets. So you do have some more storage options here. As with every Newmar unit, if you have any issues, you can call this lady right here. She is the specialist for this brand. You also have the number for Freightliner right there, and they are a 24/7 helpline as well. So really, really nice support coming from Newmar and Freightliner, but also from Transwest. We have a guy that you can call if you have an issue as well. More storage here, more here, here, and then up here as well. We got your JBL speaker up here, and you'll notice that we've got this blacked out right now. That is actually a power retractable curtain, so I can have a nice little skylight if I choose. If it's too hot of a day, I like to block that off. It just helps keep the temperature down in here. Really nice when you're going down the road to have that open. It's really nice open feeling. So this front cab area, I love how it's laid out. I love a Freightliner. They're so easy to get serviced. You can get them done at so many different places. But I also like how they've configured this front cab area now to make it a little more safe, a little more user-friendly. We of course have your buttons right here on the steering wheel that can change what you're looking at there. For example, miles per gallon, or you can check tire pressure monitor system, diagnostics, things like that. So that can be changed to your preference or on the fly to however you want it to look. You also can make phone calls here and set your cruise control here. But what I'm really speaking to is that the transmission was moved here on the Freightliners. So we have the ability to flip this into drive, neutral, and reverse right there. My exhaust brake is right here. So off, low, medium, high. I can also change my transmission to manual if I want to be in more control of the gears that we're going through there. So very, very handy to have that right there. Also have your air brake right here. The other thing, well, real quick, we've got powered mirrors, heated mirrors, powered windows, and powered locks here. We also have a jump start over here. So if your chassis battery is running low, you can pull from your house battery and vice versa. If your batteries are going low, you can pull from the other set, as we have 2 sets of batteries in here. This is what I wanted to point out. Really, really sleek. I guess you call it an entertainment system, but we actually have a 360-degree camera. Basically looks like there's a drone flying above you, keeping an eye on the whole coach all the time. That is so helpful for safety. We also have navigation on here. We have Sirius XM on here. Just a lot of great features here that we can control what we're looking at and not be concerned about our safety. Real quick, I'll show you that 360 view. So that's that 360 view I was speaking to. This camera is keeping an eye on your tow vehicle or whoever is behind you. And we do already have set up the wiring for a camera system if you had a trailer back there. So if you were towing something and wanted a camera back there, that's what that is already wired for. So really, really nicely set up for you. Again, we have the ability to tow 20,000 pounds. So for those of you who are taking several horses or some race cars in a trailer, this is a unit that would work for you. All right, let's go check out the outside of the coach. First thing that you're going to notice is the beautiful paint job. But what I want to point out about the paint job is that it wasn't chosen out of a book. This is a special order. So no one else is going to have this color scheme. And our awnings are out. Beautiful. All right, so beautiful full body paint, as Newmar always does a beautiful paint. But this was a custom chosen, hand-picked color design. And you can do this as well. If blue is not your favorite color, or you don't want the dark gray, black, etc., you could pick white and cream and yellow if you wanted to, or Bronco's orange and blue. Whatever you want can be chosen and painted on this coach. So I love that that is easily available, and it's actually not that expensive of an upgrade. We also do have the Onyx package on here, and that means all the branding and labeling is going to be blacked out, as well as our wheels, our mirrors. It's just a really cool look. And then we'll get into our storage bays, which are also felt lined. Same reasoning. It also is going to provide a little bit more insulation on the undercarriage of your coach. Something that you can't see is there is insulation all the way down to here on the bottom of those, as well as on the top before you get into the floor area of the coach. Right here at the door, this is also blacked out, and we do have a programmable code to get into the coach as well as into the basement doors. We also have a doorbell function there. That's so anybody who's knocking is not going to be heard inside the coach. It's too well insulated, so that's why they include a doorbell there for you. All right, down here, another storage bay, but the cutest darn fridge freezer I ever saw. So this is the same Dometic programmable fridge freezer that they offer on all the other lines. It's just much smaller. It's absolutely adorable. I think you could fit a small Thanksgiving turkey and maybe some stuffing in there. I really don't know, but I just think it's great that it doesn't take up too much space, but it's still there if you want to tailgate or something like that. Really cute. Down here is your exterior entertainment system. And we of course have another Samsung TV and Bose soundbar. You'll also see your fresh tank drain is right there, easily accessible. All right, big tires here. There's not a lot to talk about, but they're Michelin 295s there. Newmar does not go cheap with the tires or anything that's going to involve or affect your ride. So, okay, this is very important. Most Super Cs are not going to have any long storage. Here we've got a really nice pull-out tray, your vacuum components as promised. And this is your vacuum system. So when you need to change your bag, you're going to do it here. You also can insert this hose into here and vacuum out the basement if it happens to get messy. Oh, really important, sorry I missed this, but you've got more electronic stuff right here, very, very easy to access. So if you need to reset something, you can reach right in there. It's very well labeled. This is something Newmar just started doing, putting it behind this protective piece, and it's really, really nice to be able to do that. Again, you can call those numbers that I showed you earlier, the Newmar number or our guy here at Transwest, and he can help troubleshoot what's going on, and you can just do it yourself. So save you some money. But here, another storage place, but we have some extra porcelain tile right there in case you happen to break any. This is also how we're going to get into this back area. So back here, this is also something unique that Newmar does, is they make this really deep pass-through area. You can put a lot longer items in this place. Most other Super Cs don't have any at all, and if they do, it's maybe an inch or two long. Then we also have a place you can put your tools, some extra fluids, things like that. These are all on shocks to make it easier to open and close. So there's that 20,000-pound towing hitch there. And then we have your 7-way pin and your camera hookup right here for you. All right. Moving over here, more storage. Kind of looks a lot like the other side, but we actually have your hitch piece there. You can see that these doors are really well insulated. This is nice and thick here, full of insulation. Over here, a place to put your black hose or any of your dirty items that you don't want touching anything else. This is just a little compartment here, and it can be easily rinsed out too. All right, water bay, very well set up, and I like that they etch this in rather than putting stickers on here. So through the years, you're going to be able to still read what this is. We've got electric valves here, freshwater tank fill right there. This is that whole house water filter place. It's full of winterizer right now. It's not full of its filter, but we have an outdoor shower. And then we have your water hose on a power retract here. So when it's time to put it away, just push a button right here and it'll take that right away for you. Right here we have your Onyx Cummins diesel quiet generator. There is a switch here to check hours and start, preheat, etc. right there. You can also check the oil in there and things. All right, moving here, we have your 6 These are your house batteries, and they are on a pull-out tray, but it does lock into place. So if you need to pull those out to service them, you just pull this pin on either side, and then it'll pull right out for you. Notice how easy these doors have been to close. Newmar just changed the doors this year to the, they're much easier to open and close. But we also have your Oasis Chinook system down here. This is that hot water system as well as your furnace. So continuous or tankless hot water. It's a very clean burning system and needs less maintenance than the other brand. Housed in here, we have your Victron inverter, 3000 watt. We have your 50-foot 50 amp cord, and it is also on a power rewind, so that's going to be nice when it's cold and yucky outside. Also have your transfer switch and surge protector, and a place to plug in satellite if you're at a park there. All right. Now coming to the main reason that people buy a Super C, besides the towing capability and the extra torque, it's the ability to work on things yourself. So I'll just show you under the hood here real quick. And you can see that you can easily get to your filters, your oil, etc. Check on that really easily. We also have this really great breakaway fenders that Freightliner does. So if you're in an accident, somebody hits you right here, this piece will just fold in. You're not going to ruin the whole bumper when that happens, and you'll be able to drive to where you need to go to get that handled. So if you have any questions about this coach or anything else we have, again, I'm Teresa at Transwest. Please ask for me by name. I'm more than happy to help you with this, answer any questions, send you a spec sheet or an order sheet if you want to change it up a little bit. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and thanks for watching.